Hello and welcome, my name is Buglegs McScruffin and this is Destiny 2. Welcome to Destiny 2 on PC. Now, probably a year ago I tried to get the Xbox streaming working so I could do some streaming on my PC of Destiny 1 and record that and whatever else, and it mostly worked. But I noticed there was a bit of lag in multiplayer and a little bit of lag in controls, and every now and again my controller would just desync and I'd have to reset it, reset the sync to get it working. That was not okay for a video, so I went, cool, I'm not going to do this. Destiny 2 is out on PC, so what better time than to show you guys what this game is about. So as I said, I played the original, quite a big fan of it, and yes, I did pick up Destiny 2 on console. I've got a reasonably high level character on PlayStation, but now that it's come out on PC, this is my chance to mess around mouse and keyboard and have some fun on PC as well. So as you can see, I've not started yet. This is the beginning of the campaign. I'm going to shut up in a moment so that not Dinklebot, Nolanbot can talk.
Your first life anyway. You died on a battlefield long before my time. Something special brought us together. They called it the Traveler, and when it arrived, it changed your world forever. It was a golden age, and for centuries, humanity thrived. Until it didn't. An ancient enemy pursued the Traveler across the universe. Humanity faced extinction. But the Traveler made a choice. Its sacrifice destroyed its ancient enemy and brought life to the ghosts. I am a ghost. More importantly, I'm your ghost. And you are one of the Traveler's chosen. You are a guardian. This is your destiny.
Dun dun dun. So, as I said, I've played a bunch. There's no transferring of saves between platforms, so I get to start right at the beginning again. Now, previously I've played a lot of Warlock and I've played a lot of Hunter, so I think I'm going to have to start with Titan. But I'll give a quick overview of what each of these are. In the end, you can play any of these classes and have fun. There's fun stuff in all of them, and the way that you aim and shoot, which is the core of what you're going to be doing across the entirety of Destiny, doesn't change whether you're a Titan, a Hunter, or a Warlock. What does change is your abilities, whether it's your movement abilities or your melees, your grenades, and your supers. So Warlock is very much about sort of the ethereal magic mysteries. These guys are your space wizards. They can cast lightning bolts on people. They can throw big nova bombs. They can summon flaming swords to throw at people. Pretty fancy, and they have a nice glide as their double jump. Hunters, instead of having their just their normal melee, they also have a throwing knife, and they're all about sort of flashy, fancy, as you can see, twirling your knife there, hand cannons, let's get the headshot. Their main or their signature super from the original game, which is also here, is Golden Gun. Basically a flaming pistol appears and you get to take down up to 3 people with insta-kill shots. pretty cool. And then hunters were always like the big, tough, they're like knights. Knights of the Round Table, if you think about it a bit like that, especially look in the armor, it's a bit bulkier, it's a bit heavier. They're sort of your line troopers. They're the ones that can soak up a bit more damage, and they're the ones that are going to be in the front trying to protect everyone else and put out a lot of damage. That being said, there's no distinct roles between the three. They all can do a lot of different things. So let's select my Titan. I get to customize. I've sort of done all of this, but I'm just going to go sort of generic. I'm a guy, I'm a human, that's fine. I can be an Awoken if I want, sort of space, alien, human things. Or I can be an Exo, which is basically a robot with, I think, a human soul. But anyway, so let's have a look. We'll go faces. I like this jawline, that's not too bad. Very stubborn guy there. Where'd we go? Let's go here. No, I'm not going that pale. Let's go a little bit darker. Probably not that olive. Yeah, that looks good. Lip colors are going to be about the same. Not that dark. Eye color. Let's go. Yeah, something bright and striking like that. That looks good. You'll notice that there's not a huge amount of options, and the reason there's not a huge amount of options is this stuff you're not going to see a lot. So let's have a look. I can go buzz cut. Oh, there we go. My little peak at the front. Do I get to... No, apparently I don't get to rotate that around. That's fine. Let's have a look. Oh yeah, getting our spikes on. Cornrows. What do we want? I'm thinking... Let's do something quite simple. Very serious dude here. Hair color. Yeah, I reckon that looks pretty good. A nice brown, maybe even a little bit grey. Maybe I'm a grizzled veteran. Nah, let's go back. Yeah, that's better. Again, with markings, I tend not to do much. If these looked more like scars, maybe I'd keep them. But looking at these, yeah, no markings, that's fine. I'm going to finish. Not much customization in the end. But, as I said, it's not going to make a huge amount of difference. Good morning, Nathan Fillion.
Ikora, if you tell me this is a practical joke, well, it kills me to say it, but I would be really impressed.
Impressing you, Cade, is the easiest thing I'll do all day.
Let's get serious, people.
Zavala, this is my serious face. Can't you tell?
Ikora, what have you got?
Someone or something has sabotaged the Skyline defense systems.
And comms have been spotty for the last few hours. Every sensor beyond the wall has gone dark.
Maybe it's just the storm. Maybe it's...
Maybelline.
What are the set feeds telling us?
Nothing.
Well, that's good, right?
No. I mean, they're not there. There are no satellites.
Dun dun dun.
That's not good.
Correct.
Battle stations! Everyone with me, now!
So Zavala here is a Titan, you can have that ability. There's our Hunter's Golden Gun. And our Space Wizard teleporting. So this story is taking itself a little bit too seriously. I'm aware of that. It's one of those stories which, unfortunately, the execution just leaves that little bit to be desired. It's a fascinating concept, and the outlines of all the stories are great, but some of the lines just,
Repeat, tower approach.
they
This is
hurt.
City Hawk 723. Anyone home? No response on any channels, even the emergency frequencies. What is going on back there? Remember when I told you that you fly too fast? Forget I said that. Fly fast.
Yes, sir. So then the question is, if you don't come to Destiny for the story, what do you come to Destiny for? There's these things here. The guns.
We need to find Zavala, Ikora, and Cade.
Now, I believe... No, that's not what I wanted. Yes, I only have one gun at the moment. I'll explain this more once we have some more things to explain with it. Whoop. Reloading prematurely. Excellent, that's always what we want.
Blowing up planets. Whatever they want, it must be here, in the last city.
I apologize already for my terrible shooting.
This is Commander Zavala. Civilians, report to evac points. Guardians, rendezvous in the plaza. Our city will not fall.
Ooh. Seer's punch. Fair enough.
Cade.
Hey, you two.
Hey, Nathan.
Give me a sec.
Bam, bam, bam.
Zavala's
Babalam.
doing the hero thing in the plaza. Me? I've got a date with whoever's behind this. It'll be a short date.
Good luck, you're gonna need it. So, nice looking game. Lots of ambience. I like the gold here. Nice little touch. Ah. Shax, you were saying something. Hello.
I'll take care of these people. If the Cabal want war, give them war.
Excellent. I will give them more because I love shooting stuff. So, let's jump in our menu for a second. I've now got, instead of my sidearm, I'm not particularly fond of sidearms, I've got an auto rifle, a machine gun, and another sidearm. But at least I've got the option now. So let's stick with our auto rifle origin story. As you can see, it's very typical FPS as far as aim and shoot and like aim down sights, shoot whatever else. One of the biggest differences is the movement. So yeah, I can sprint around. Excellent. Let's throw a grenade over there. I also have my double jump. Titans have a jetpack, so it's very sort of linear motion compared to the Warlock's glide, which lets you go a little bit further, I guess, and the Hunter's double jump, which is very good for saving yourself in a sticky situation because it's always gonna, the second jump is always gonna pop you up. Sometimes you run into issues with, there we go, sometimes you, ooh, that's not very nice. Sometimes you run into issues with your other subclasses where you don't, your jump doesn't do what you're expecting it to, and you end up dropping off the side of a cliff or something. Okay, and there is a really good example of how Bungie have balanced these weapons. The sidearms are great up close. You saw these two guys died really, really quickly. Down this hallway, sidearms suck. They are terrible. Let's go back to my auto rifle. You may have noticed one of those guys, the big guy, had a shield on him.
Look at the size of that thing. It must be their command ship.
There's 3 different types of energy: arc, solar, and void. My energy weapon is a solar weapon. You can see that by the flame next to it. If I scroll down, bottom left, you can see that flame. That means that shields in general are going to take extra damage, but if I can match, there we go, if I can match my type of damage to the shield, when the shield is taken down, that enemy and the surrounding enemies take extra damage. Also, how fun is it to punch things? There we go. Excellent.
Okay, my ghost keeps tagging these Cabal as Red Legion. Cora, what do you got?
They're elite, ruthless, and rumor is they have never known defeat.
Dun dun dun.
Today they face Guardians.
But Zavala, they're attacking the Traveler.
The Traveler waits. We protect our people at any cost.
Bum, bum, bum. Where's sound? Dun dun dun. Team voice chat off. No, push talk enabled. Because then, excellent. Not rambling on to anyone else who's in the area. Oh, hey Jados. So here's another player fighting in this area at the same time. Okay. Now let's try. It was a bit of a waste. I didn't realise we were right at the end of the way. So that was my super. I'm going to jump up here because in a moment this is going to shoot this position. That sounds like a bad idea, except for Zavala is very nice. Thank you, Zavala. And all of the orbs have been picked up, but that's fine. So when people use supers, they drop what are called orbs of light. And oh, I've got my super ability already. Excellent. Let's kill a lot of dudes. So as you can see, even though I'm first level, you tend to be pretty beefy, at least at the beginning. Your mainline enemies, not too hard to kill. What is hard to kill is your bosses. Let's see, do I have another wave in a moment? Yeah, there we go. Here's our next bubble. And I'm just dancing while I wait. Because, why not? Ooh, and what happened? Wow! I had never seen that happen before. Zavala just died. Fancy. I probably shouldn't be dancing.
Zavala, the last of the shuttles is away. But the speaker, he never made it. I'm going to look for him.
I've cut the plaza. Go with Ikora. Find the speaker.
We're on it, Commander.
Yes, Commander. Let's go. Okay, slight inside joke coming up. In Destiny 1, this little sweeper robot here couldn't whistle. He was out of tune. Everything's dying, and now he can. Just thought you ought to know. Excellent, we're up to North Tower. And, ooh, there's a Warlock Super.
The speaker is gone. Red Legion, you will take no more from us, and you will find no mercy in me.
Grumpy Space Wizard. That's not what you want.
She'll find the
Okay,
speaker.
and
We
boom,
need to move on that
boom.
command ship. Now head to the North
Some more
Tower
dudes to
and send
shoot.
Commander Holiday to pick you up.
So as you may have, ooh, that hurt a little bit. As you may have figured out by now,
Holiday is inbound. We need that ship off the field.
a lot of this game is just shooting stuff. But the reason this game is great is because shooting that stuff is a whole lot of fun. Oop, let's switch to this. Get your shield down. Let it blow up. Wait, stop hitting me. I said stop. I'll punch you as well. Excellent.
Someone told me
And
you need a ride.
here we have Holiday.
Zavala, picked up that Guardian you never showed up about?
Get them on that command ship now.
Hold on back there! Come on, big guy. Do something. All right, Guardian. Time to kick him where it hurts.
Now this is where I'd be really curious on like new players' perspectives, because for me, Amanda Holiday is an interesting character. She's one that gave you your first spaceship. She's the one that sells you ships and sparrows, the sort of motorbike type thing you can ride around on when you're exploring the different worlds. She's also the one that set up the Sparrow Racing League.
Let me take a look.
So I've interacted with her quite a bit over the last 3 years. So for me, that's a meaningful interaction. Going, hey, you're the fancy pilot, engineer, whatever. You're probably going to be the best pilot. So yeah, I understand why you're flying me around. But for a new player, it's a random character. It has appeared, flying you to the ship. You didn't even see yourself. You just saw this fancy character. And then they're gone. And you won't see Holiday again for quite some time. Oh, I threw that in time. Just shoot the dude. Come on, Bugs, you can do it. Don't run away, I want to punch you. Whoa. So this is the other interesting thing. When you die, unless respawning is restricted, like when you die, nothing changes, and you can spawn back pretty quickly, which is neat. Don't worry, not the entire game is like this.
Hey, what's your status?
A little low on ammo. Old flaming fist kept burning out. Anyone heard from Akora?
Not since you went for the speaker. Form up! For me!
Ooh, nice and high. Sorry, I've lost my train of thought. I think I was talking about the story and just the way that, like, I feel like for new players it's a little bit disconnected. People don't get the intro that they need. I still enjoy it, and I know a lot of the backstory for a lot of the bad guys and the backstory for a lot of the main characters that we get shown, but without that 3 years of background, a lot of new players, and especially people on PC who've picked this up because they've heard, hey, Destiny was good, or a lot of people enjoyed it, or maybe Destiny 2's fixed Destiny. They're like, what's going on? Who's this? Why do I care? And unfortunately, honestly, like, unless I sit here talking about the backstory for half an hour, it's hard to really fill in all of that detail for people. Let's just sit here and beat this guy in the face for a bit. But maybe I need to shoot him again. I think the other thing that I was talking about before was just respawning and difficulty link challenge. You can see, like, beginning of the game is not hard. You're basically waltzing through this epic battle where you're one of the strongest people and creaming everyone and everything. First thing, don't worry, that will change. Things will get more difficult as time goes on, but it's also a little bit of, I know the crit spots for all of the enemies, I know how the game works, I know what to expect. One of the things I think that takes a little bit of adjusting to is the pace of play. Oh, he died already. Excellent. But also just the fact that, hey, you've got all of these abilities that you can use. So for instance, I've got my grenade at the moment. I might want to drop down here, chuck that grenade, watch him blow up, then finish off this scion. I've got lots of little bits and pieces going on. My super's almost up again.
The shield generator should be
There you can see. So that there was a good example of the difference between a double jump and the jetpack. The jetpack sort of, if I'm falling quite quickly, will slow me down, but it won't actually raise me again. Double jump will give me a little bit of a pop. But yeah, the movement options give you a lot of flexibility in how you... Ooh. Fine. Let's super these guys, because I don't like them. Shoot him in the face. Punch him in the face. Whoop, that's a wall. Punch him, and again. And we're done. Well, it's this guy. But you know what I mean. Okay. Light puzzles.
Destroy the turbines. The shields should fizzle.
And by light puzzles, I mean follow the objective marker.
Just like that.
The main thing is don't get hit by that. Falling down, hit my jump, float down, shoot the thing, watch it explode, wait for this to move past, double jump, ooh! Drop down, shoot another beam, watch it all explode.
Zavala, we did it. The shields are down.
Zavala?
There we go.
Amanda, we're headed topside.
So now, having said that, no one gets a good intro. As pretentious as he is, Mr. Bad Guy does get his intro.
How do we come back from this?
You don't. Welcome to a world without light.
Guardian, something's wrong.
Do not look at me, creature.
Yes, sir.
You are weak, undisciplined, cowering behind walls. You're not brave. You've merely forgotten the fear of death. Allow me to reacquaint you.
No! Nolan Bot.
Your kind never deserved the power you were given. I am Gaul,
Hi, Go.
and your light is mine.
No, that's not very nice. Can you give it back? Whee! I probably shouldn't be undermining cutscenes in the story. I do, like, I genuinely enjoy the background and the story. Yeah, it's like popcorn, fun, trash, whatever. But if you buy into it, then you buy into this world of characters and this this universe of possibilities. And some of them have great personalities. Some of them are really, really interesting. Some not so much, but you win some, you lose some. And now we have Fancy Visions. Arcstrider, Dawnblade, and my super, the Sentinel, I believe it's called. I call it Captain America. Whatever. You call it what you want. So basic synopsis so far. You star as a fancy space wizard, and then you get your fancy space wizard powers taken away. And then, like 2 days later, you wake up, looking a little bit worse for wear. Up the top, you've got my health, which is sitting at, what, a third? And I'm not looking particularly hot. In fact, if I go in my menu, oh, I've got a damaged weapon, I've got damaged gauntlets, plate, greaves, Titan mark, you can see that's shredded, cracked helmet. This is not looking good, and the bad guys are marching through the streets. Excellent, just what you want. One of the things I do need to give Destiny 2 props for is actually sticking to this. This is one of the reasons why I really enjoyed the story of Batman Arkham City as well. You lose your strength, your powers, you're physically poisoned, and so your health drops, and you have these sections where you're stumbling and walking, and yeah, you're fighting your fighting's okay, but it's not as good as it was, and you're like you have less health. You can take less of a beating. I like this here. I've woken up after being unconscious for 2 days. I'm not going to be in particularly good shape. I'm not going to be running around. Contrast this with the Contrast this with the beginning of Tomb Raider, the new reboot by Square Enix. They put Lara Croft through some truly horrendous things. She is very badly injured, and that is all great if you push the thumbstick a little bit. She's limping. As soon as you tell her to sprint and jump, oh, she's totally fine. She can do that stuff no matter what. Yes, Nolanbot? Okay, I think I found my ghost. He's alive. Although it looks like he's got some issues as well.
I can heal you, but I can't resurrect you. Not since. Guardian, the light is gone. They've taken the city.
Okay, so you notice I've not got my grenade. I've got not got my double jump. Luckily, we can now vault.
Guardians, we have to get out of here.
So I don't think I'm going to talk much. I love this music.
Emergency broadcast.
Very
Rendezvous
haunting.
coordinates. They're evacuating the planet. We're on our own.
Okay, I've been traveling for 2 days now.
These Guardians, they had no chance without their powers. That could be us. Guardian, if you die, I can't resurrect you. We need to be very careful.
So, one of the interesting things about this game is, at this point, I was feeling quite vulnerable. First time I played this, a little bit concerned for my safety and my well-being, and sort of a question of what would happen if I actually do die in this period. And even in the next mission, when you're going and exploring an avenue to get your light back, it was a little bit more tense than Destiny usually is, being able to resurrect all the time. And I don't think this is too much of a spoiler. You get your powers back pretty damn quick, and I totally understand why Bungie did that. This is a game about being an awesome space wizard, so you want your awesome space wizard powers, but they also want to tell a story about you losing your powers and having to regain them and regain what made you special and sort of earn it for yourself. And so there's a real tension there. It's like, people don't want to play a game where you're you're not what you're supposed to be. One thing I do need to mention about this area that we're in.
Falcon again.
Ooh.
Is it following us?
Hello, Falcon.
Or are we following it?
This area is called Twilight Gap. In the fiction, before the first game, there was a big battle here, and it was sort of one of the deciding battles about whether humanity survived or not in the Dark Age. Having said that, the Dark Age has not really been addressed or mentioned. You can see the Traveler there, our big fancy ball. It's looking a little bit worse for wear, and because of that net over it, basically we don't have access to our fancy space powers, because all of our power comes from the Traveler. One question I do have though is, if you put a net over that and that prevents us getting our powers, does that mean the further we are from the Traveler, the less powerful we are? If I'm standing right under the Traveler, I'm like super duper powerful. I do like, is that, yeah, all of that smoke looks dynamic. That's pretty cool. Lots of ruin happening in the last city, but we're running away because, well, I don't want to be there, do you? It almost looks like lava over here. Less city and more volcano. So let's go through the mountains into a brand new day. Oh, look, it was snowing, and it sort of is snowing here. But it's thawing out very quickly. Let's drop down here. Oh, look, they've marked out a path for me. Apparently it doesn't want me to sprint. Ah. I don't remember this. There should be a guy here. Hello, dude. Now, this is the trick. If I can land my headshots, these things die really quick. The keyword being if. And not having, there we go, not having the aim assist from consoles hurts. It's much easier to land your headshots. That wasn't bad. There we go. See, one shot, dead. Excellent. This is an ammo brick, just in case you're wondering what it is. White ones are for my kinetic weapon, which is my sort of main slot. Then I've got my energy slot, which is green, and then the big purple ones are for my heavy weapon, of which I currently have no heavy weapons. I think my brother had a bit of trouble crossing this. I think it's relatively easy, but you can just walk around. Saves having to accidentally fall down there. Then we'll go around here. Let's drop down. I'm going to do this jump. Is it really not letting me do a running jump at all? Okay. Looks like I should be able to make this jump. Quite frustrating that I can't. I could totally have grabbed that, but apparently story is more important than what would happen in that case. Fell down, a little bit dazed.
Somebody left a perfectly good guardian lying around. Things must be worse than I thought. And that's our cue. Time to go, people!
But wait, where are you all going?
As far away from here as possible.
That Falcon, it belongs to you?
The name's Hawthorne, and this is Lewis. Best pilot we got. What about you? Fit to fly?
I don't talk, but I can nod real good.
Time to make yourself useful, Guardian. All right, people,
Oh,
speed
I
up.
saw the sarcasm in
Long way
those
ahead of us.
captions. You don't think much of me, lady. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. So now we get to fly off to the farm. While we're doing this, we get to see what Big Bad Gaul is up to.
Traveler, all that I have done. Grace me with your light. Take your place at the center of my empire. See me, and the Red Legion will be your true guardians.
Dominus, the city is secure. Those who fled are being hunted, and those foolish enough to remain have been executed. Victory, as with all things, is yours to claim.
This victory is as much yours as mine, old friend.
All that remains is the completion of the cage around this great machine. Then we may begin the extraction of its power and put it to its rightful use.
They call it the Traveler.
I would contend that other civilizations may be more precise in their naming. Its functions can be controlled and exploited, as we have so clearly proven.
Yet they believe it to be a god.
Dominus. Gaul. We have spent our lives, you and I, working to reshape our society, reforge our people, rebuild an empire nearly destroyed by Callus's greed and corruption. There is nothing in this universe greater than you. The Red Legion will have that machine's power. You will be called Emperor. What more would the Dominus have?
I would have words with my guest.
Now, again, this reveal is like super for people who have played the first game. So far, if you've not played the first game, this is the first time you have seen the speaker. Dun dun dun.
Coming up on the European Dead Zone. Gonna be our new home for a while.
Look, do you recognize it? That's where we're supposed to go.
That thing? They call it the Shard of the Traveler. I call it not a place you want to go poking around.
Especially when you're missing bits of armor. But this is the farm. And this is a place that you won't spend much time. But anyway, next time we'll have a look at the farm and we'll see where we're going next. Thank you for watching.